Listen here, man. Here we go. Mayhem Social Media Coalition. This is a special update. I'm glad to bring y'all this one. Honestly, I'm super glad to bring y'all this one. I want to talk to y'all today about city ordinance. It's election year, man. We're going to stick with the theme. I want to talk to y'all about city ordinance. Now, if you notice, if you go around to these stores and you go into any of the establishments nowadays, they said that you have to have a mask on. You have to have the mask that's similar to this type mask, cloth mask, or you can get one of these. They kind of had these out. This is more of a, I'm not sure what material is made of. Point being this, they saying that in order to enter any establishment nowadays, it's a city ordinance. They have these little signs, city ordinance that you must wear a mask. Well, I went about and I looked at city ordinance. I looked at California in particular, Los Angeles in particular. I looked up Los Angeles city ordinance and I looked up Los Angeles city ordinance under the COVID situation as announced by Eric Garcetti, our mayor, Eric Garcetti. So listen here, I'm going to post the documentation. I found the March 4th release of the announcement of the COVID. I found signed by announcements put out by the mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti. And then I found some June, I think it was June, but it was the August 7th update about put out by Eric Garcetti, Mayor Eric Garcetti, about all the ordinance and about all the situations that Los Angeles here is particularly experiencing during this COVID situation. But in these ordinances and in these situations and all these paperwork that I found, I'm gonna tell you, it never once mentions that you must wear a mask as a city ordinance. It never once says in any of the documentation that I found, say as a city ordinance, it was required that people wear masks inside establishments and out in the public or anywhere else. How can that be? They're telling us we have to wear these masks. They're saying that we must put these masks over our faces in order to enter any establishment. And they said it's a city ordinance as far as these documentations that we are reading, these bulletins, these paperwork, these warnings. But I go through the paperwork put out by Eric Garcetti, our mayor, put out by Los Angeles and those who run our city. And nowhere in that paperwork, I'm going to post it, nowhere in that paperwork does it say we are required to wear a face covering. And if it's mentioned in there, I definitely listen. Let me be honest. I found it in there one place. It said one place that it says face coverings were required. Where it said that you should wear a face covering if you out and about. But if you feel sickly or if you feel like you have asthma problems or if you have any type of respiratory problems or if you feel like the mask is making you sick, you don't have to wear it. It's not a mandate. It's just an advisement. That's how it comes across to us. Here at Mayhem Social Media Coalition, we want to let y'all know that it's not a city ordinance as far as we are able to see. If anyone is out there and they can show us documentation, not just verbiage, but documentation where it is stating that under Los Angeles guidelines, it is a city ordinance under COVID or any other situation that we must wear masks, we would like to know because we aren't finding that information. So let's move on to the second point. Why are we being required to wear these masks? Let me tell you something about these masks and what these masks do. The human body breathes oxygen. Everybody know that, right? We all breathe in oxygen. That's how we live. It puts in oxygen into our bloodstream. It keeps our blood flowing, and that's how we live. And let me tell you this. Our body produces gases. Obviously, there's no need to expound on that. With our body producing gases, these gases are called carbon dioxide with a D. Carbon dioxide. Now, let me tell you what carbon dioxide does. Carbon dioxide, obviously, if you've ever heard about it, it pollutes. It harms. It poisons. This is what carbon dioxide do. This is why our body expels it through our orifices. So with that being said, God intended us to admit this, carbon dioxide, and he intended us to inhale oxygen. But let me tell you what carbon dioxide does. Carbon dioxide is not extremely hazardous. Over a period of time, carbon dioxide can obviously become hazardous because your body does not want it. That's why it emits it. But let me tell you what carbon dioxide does. When carbon dioxide is held down, when carbon dioxide is not allowed to be released, it turns into carbon monoxide with an M. But let me tell you what carbon monoxide does. Carbon monoxide directly poisons. Over a period of time, you won't pass out immediately, but there are effects of carbon monoxide. Dizziness, fainting, lack of energy, fatigue, among other things, are carbon monoxide. But let me tell you this, carbon monoxide can definitely mutate into other things because it is a poisonous gas. These masks that they were saying that we're required to wear, although there's no documentation of any city ordinance that could be enforced by any law or law enforcement saying that we are mandated to wear, because I believe it's unhealthy, it's inhumane to make a person intentionally suffocate themselves. That's just our opinion here at Mayhem Social Media Coalition. Check on the city ordinance. We want to know. Los Angeles, or where you live at too, we want to know. If anybody knows anything about a city ordinance that mandates us to wear these masks, please let us know. Advise us of the information. We're going to post all information we've found released by the mayor's office, Eric Garcetti. Thank you.